Even before I got my G29 steering wheel, I was starting to love sim racing. I loved jumping into Dirt Rally 2 with the controller, trying to master all the cars and stages, trying to get into the top 100 of my favorite rallies. I was watching real-life rally footage whenever I could to see how rallying was done in real life. When I was playing, it felt amazing whenever I set a new record, or whenever I learned a new technique or approach to a certain stage. I was so heavily invested that I decided to buy a wheel. And as many people know, Dirt Rally 2 is very, very hard on a wheel. So I hopped over to Assetto Corsa to improve my skills with the wheel in a somewhat safer environment. And I felt another spark of joy. I didn't think I would be very interested in track racing, but it was way more amazing than I had thought. It was beyond my wildest dreams. I hadn't felt this feeling in years. And I'm not being dramatic here. I hadn't enjoyed games like this for years. I felt like a child on Christmas again, but for 2 or 3 straight weeks. Whenever I went to bed, I couldn't wait till tomorrow because then I could spend more time behind the wheel. When I got the basics down and felt like I could keep the car on track for a whole race, I jumped online. There I came to find that the Assetto Corsa multiplayer experience can be a little bit random and pointless. I wanted some goals to aim for. I wanted to improve myself and I wanted to beat others. So I decided to buy ACC. It had only one class at the time, giving me the opportunity to learn one class of cars through and through. This made me feel that spark of sim racing joy once again. It was amazing to learn the ins and outs of just a single car, to compete with people on a track that you know like the back of your hand. It felt like I was coming home, and I really fell in love with ACC. Fast forward a couple of months, and for the past few weeks, I've kind of felt like an imposter. I felt forced to stick with ACC because it's my main sim racing game. Feeling forced to play one single sim can really put you off of sim racing. Whatever the reason might be, maybe you're racing in a league and you feel like you're supposed to only drive that one sim, or you might not have any idea about the other sims that are there to play for you. Whatever the reason might be, feeling forced to restrict yourself to only one sim is not a fun feeling. It kind of sucks the joy out of the whole sim racing thing. So I became a sinner, a convert, or a radical, as some might call it. I fired up the old iRacing. I got into oval racing, and for me it was like Patrick Swayze catching me in the middle of my dance, because I had the time of my life. I felt like a fresh, new, beautiful baby sim racer again. It was like the day I bought my wheel. I felt purpose and wonder and confusion, but most of all, I felt that joy again. I had such a blast just flying around the oval track in the Street Stock series or the outdated Chevy Silverado truck. A whole new world opened up right before my eyes. And I know what you might be thinking right now. iRacing is expensive and it's awful, and that's a valid opinion. Don't get me wrong. The UI is very bad and it's very expensive. And this video is definitely not about iRacing. It's about the joy of sim racing. Maybe you're feeling burnt out on whatever sim you're currently playing, and you have no desire or motivation to play that sim, but you feel like you need to play it for whatever reason. And if you love sim racing but you haven't felt that joy for a while, I highly advise you to try something else, something new, something that you might never have thought to do. Join a league that's racing cars you've never heard of before. Try out some rally games or rallycross, or maybe even kartcraft or truck racing or truck simulators, or anything that might not be the most mainstream game. Try out something that you think you wouldn't like, especially when it's costing you nothing but time. maybe you'll reignite that burning passion for sim racing, like I have. I didn't think oval racing was this much fun. I thought it was going left and just stamping on the gas. And it's so much more than that. And I only recognized the intricacies of oval racing by doing it firsthand. And I highly advise you to do the same, but with whatever racing series, whatever game you might be interested in. The reason I'm making this video is because I've gotten some comments from people that told me they felt burnt out on sim racing and they put it down for a little while. And there's also nothing wrong with that. If you don't feel like sim racing, definitely put it down for a while. If you're feeling fed up with the current series that you're racing, try out something new. Try to take good care of yourself because sim racing is a hobby that should bring joy, happiness, and excitement. You shouldn't feel forced to drive only one specific thing when there's so much out there, so much fun to be had. And I'm making this video especially just because I wanted to get it off my chest that I felt kind of locked up in ACC. I felt like I had to get better at that one game because I also make videos about it, but I didn't feel that fun, that excitement, and that joy anymore whenever I was driving in it. It felt like a burden, like a chore, something I had to do. And now that I've stepped away for a little while, it doesn't feel like that anymore. Now I know that I've got some alternatives to race in, and that ACC is just one of the games I can pick up and have some fun in. And that's kind of all I gotta say about the joy of sim racing. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more sim racing fun. And I certainly and most uprightly hope you sleep tight tonight. My beautiful baby boys, my beautiful baby girls. I'll see you next time. I love you.